Hi, everyone. I want to thank you so much for just taking a couple moments out of your night to check this out. My name is Nikki, and I am a mother of two and a former high school English teacher and track coach of 9 years. And now I'm just really enjoying working from home, helping people realize their goals and really get in touch with their why, and ultimately just find their best self. So I'm not sure where you are in your journey, but I can tell you that this just has so many areas of value to offer you. And I ask that right now you just kind of think about where you want to be, where you are now, where you want to be and why you want to be there, most importantly. And just open your hearts and your minds to the possibility that this could help you get there like it did for so many of us. I'm going to share my story with you in a little bit. Maybe you're where I was. I was kind of looking for something. I knew we needed to make some changes, but I was really skeptical when I first heard of this. But at the same time, I had eventually reached out to a friend that I saw on Facebook, actually an acquaintance. She wasn't even a friend then, but she is now. And, it just really changed everything for us. So again, thank the person who invited you to this because they've had an amazing transformation in some area of their life, and they just genuinely want to share that with you. So I'm going to share my screen with you now and get started with a very short presentation. Okay, so again, thank you so much for coming. And over the next 15 to 20 minutes, we're just going to share some of our stories and what our why was. We're going to help you think about what your goals and your why are. And we're going to discuss some stumbling blocks that we all face and things that stop us from reaching those goals. And finally, we're going to offer some inspiration and some hope by sharing some solutions with you. So this is my family. This is us 5 years ago. And you can't really tell, but we were in a pretty bad place in many ways. I was dealing with chronic back pain. I had a lack of energy, brain fog, and overall, I was just feeling very blue. Our daughter had strange rashes since birth, and we would soon find out that our son was born with a heart defect. But the scariest part of all came with my husband's very sudden diagnosis of heart failure. He was a healthy guy, but they think a virus attacked his heart, and it left him with only 10% function. The other thing, we were told at the time that his condition is usually found with an autopsy after it's too late. So we felt lucky, but those next 3 months of our lives were filled with a lot of fear. We saw no improvement with his heart function, despite medication and the infamous heart healthy diet. And eventually he got a pacemaker and still didn't see results. So it was the scariest time of our lives, but in retrospect, it was the biggest gift. It brought us closer to God, and it also just opened up our minds to how nutrition can fuel our bodies and can heal. So fast forward 2 years after we made some discoveries, we realized that we still weren't our best. My husband was better, but all we were doing still wasn't enough. My pain and our daughter's rashes were still there, and we were just tired all the time. So my friend Patty introduced us to this. I tried it. My husband and kids followed suit, and we have never looked back. And I am so thankful for this gift and for Patty's willingness to share it with me. So initially, my family was my why, but now you all are my why. So that's why I'm here sharing that with you. This is Patty. This is the woman that I stalked on Facebook for over a year trying to figure out what she was doing. She was feeling spiritually barren. She was suffering from inflammation in her lungs, and she was very tired. But she was introduced to this through a friend, and she and Jim lost 70 pounds, and she found a way to nurture again and to keep up, had found the energy to keep up with all of her grandbabies. This is my cousin Amy. She was a teacher like myself. She was always a health nut. She ate organic before I knew what organic was, but she had a big why. Her why was her husband, and her other why was that she just was feeling a lot of GI discomfort and a serious lack of energy. Everyone knew that Amy never had energy. She was skeptic. She did a lot of research, but she eventually decided to try this, and it's just changed everything from her energy to a happier, healthier gut, and overall peace of mind that her family's getting what they need. This is her husband. This was part of her initial why. Before she tried the products, he wasn't smiling much. He was working really hard, and he was unable to work out because of inflammation in his knees. But since then, he's lost 40 pounds, and he's gained so much more. He's gained energy, health, and stamina to run races and be active again. And more importantly, he can model that for his kids. So back to you. What areas of your life could stand some improvement? Really think about this. If you could improve some aspect and reach some goals, what would they be? Where would you see yourself in 6 months or 2 years? Now, a lot of people say weight loss, but weight is just a number. You really have to think about why you want that if you really want to get there. So what would that 10, 20, or 100 pounds mean to you? Maybe it's getting into that favorite outfit, but maybe it's so you can play with your kids or play with your grandkids someday. Maybe you're experiencing pain in your joints. Maybe you just lack confidence and you just want to find that again. Energy is another thing that so many of us suffer from. I know when I was a teacher, I lived on coffee, and that afternoon slump was the absolute worst. But what does energy mean to you? Maybe you want to come home from work and not fall into the couch, but actually be able to interact with your husband or wife and your kids. Energy just can change everything. Maybe it's better performance you're looking for. Maybe you're exercising and you're just not seeing the gains that you should for the time you're putting in. Well, we have learned that nutrient timing is everything when it comes to performance. You need to really work on refueling properly, getting enough quality protein, and the right pre-workout regimen is huge. And our company has just released a whole line of performance products that are going to be a game changer for so many athletes out there. Healthy aging. Yeah, we all want to look good as we age, but that's just on the outside. And yeah, maybe we'll get some confidence back. But on the inside, what does this mean to you? Maybe you want to be able to get on the floor with your grandkids. Maybe you want to improve the quality of your life and not be so reliant on medication and expensive health care. Maybe you are like so many of us and we've watched loved ones get sick and suffer, and you don't want to go through that or watch your family go through that with you. People are living longer in many cases, that's true, but they're not often living better. So why is it so hard? So many people, myself included, I had set many goals before, started the new year only to fail again. Many people have tried diets, but if they lose the weight, they oftentimes gain it back. Maybe you're working out and you're adding supplements and vitamins, but you're just not getting the progress. Well, why is that? What we found is that it's not all our fault. We are not feeling our best for a reason. We have challenges that we didn't have 70 years ago, like toxicity and mineral depletion. Our schedules make nutrient balance very difficult, and even those who are trying to do the right things often lack support and motivation. They may be like us. We thought we were eating right, but it wasn't enough. People think that going to the gym is enough, but my husband still couldn't shake his spare tire despite a trainer and going to the gym quite frequently. But now we understand toxicity. Our bodies were designed to detoxify. We have a liver, colon, skin, lymphatic system, but never were they meant to handle the workload that our world is throwing at them. From the water we drink to the air we breathe, the food we eat, and so many chemicals in the products we use, our bodies are just challenged. They're an overload. So the toxins go into our body and they go to the only place they can, which is our fat. It's the only protection. The other thing we're dealing with toxins are pesticides and herbicides. They're affecting our produce and leaving them toxic and nutritionally bankrupt. Our dairy and our meat has traces of whatever that animal has eaten. Cows used to eat grass. They used to be milked in season. Now that's not the case. They eat genetically modified things, and they take in a lot of hormones so that they can produce more milk. And then they take in antibiotics to keep them healthy, and our bodies are taking all of that in as well. So what can't be handled, again, goes to the fat. Another toxic element that is just killing us is sugar. And there again, it's not all our fault. It's in so much that we don't even think about. And it makes us become acidic. It makes us become inflamed. And then we crave more and more of it. And it's this vicious cycle that's just so hard to break. Many people turn to low sugar at one point, or low fat, or low carb. But it's not good. That doesn't work. Our bodies actually need good fats and good carbs. So it can be overwhelming. I know that I personally choose not to eat healthy 100% of the time. But what I have found is knowing the difference between what's good and what's bad and making conscious decisions has really made all the difference. I also found, and my husband has found, and my kids, that when we get the nutrition that our bodies actually need, we don't crave the bad so much. There have been several studies that have shown that our produce is nutritionally bankrupt. This is a UCLA study, and ultimately it was discovered that a bowl of spinach in 1997 was depleted in several minerals, iron being just one of them. And what they found that it took 43 bowls of spinach in 1997 to total the same amount of iron that was in just one bowl in 1953. What does this mean? This just means that, our bodies haven't changed. Our bodies still need those 90 nutrients, 60 of which are minerals, but our food does not contain everything it should, and it's just harder to get what we need. So where do we go from here? This is a lot of knowledge. 5 years ago, when we started to learn a lot of this, we made some decisions to change some things. We decided to juice. We did it for a year, and it was good. But when I look at all that I spent on juicing, and we still didn't get the gains. It was very expensive, and we had to juice organic because if you juice non-organic, you're just concentrating those toxins. So we found that we can get what we need for a fraction of the cost, and it's just a lot easier. It's made our lives a lot easier. So the solution that we have found is in a company called Isagenix. Now, what we're talking about here is just food. It's not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent disease. The body is what is the miracle. And when it's fed and treated right, that's when some amazing things can happen. So what is it? What is this Isagenix? Well, it's not a diet. It's different than so many things that you have tried. It's about bringing the body into balance. It's protein-based, mineral-rich, dense superfood, and it combines nutritional cleansing technology with targeted essential nutrition, and it feeds the body on a cellular level. And as you can see, there's nothing bad in it. Non-GMO, no soy, no gluten, no compromised products, nothing artificial. And I know you may be thinking what I was when I first heard about this. Well, there's so many other products out there. What makes this one different or better than anything else? Well, what people find is noticeable results. People start a diet. Why do they quit? Oftentimes they don't get results, or when they do get results, they plateau, or they start to fall back, or it's just too hard to maintain. Well, this is different. You're not cutting calories in the sense that you will lose bone density and muscle mass. A lot of diets you do, and that is not good for healthy aging. With Isagenix, you are allowing your body to release toxins, but you're not depriving yourself. Instead, you're just flooding your body with nutrients. And my husband loves to call this his easy, accessible nutrition because he's on the go a lot and he does not like to eat very healthy. Another thing that sets this apart from so many things out there is the support system and the motivation. When you buy a product off a shelf, you get that product, maybe some directions on the bottle, but here you get a whole team of people that are eager to help you reach your goals. So we work with you, we work a plan out with you, we get on calls and troubleshoot together, and there's just so many opportunities. We have Facebook groups where you can plug in for extra support. Locally, we have get-togethers and prep meals together. We have cooking demos, and overall, we just have a culture of a community that just wants to improve the quality of their life, get healthier, and have fun doing it. Two other things on this list that just really set it apart. The Healthy Mind and Body program was recently implemented, and it is phenomenal. So much of why people fail deals with mindset. And this program is something that allows you to really get over those hurdles and really start to create some great habits. Another thing, $600 in free products every year. You can do the IsaBody Challenge, another great way to stay accountable. And you can do that up to 3 times a year, which totals $600. Just for completing it, you get $200 voucher each time. And it's just a really great way to keep yourself accountable. And then lastly, another thing that sets us apart is how you won't see TV ads for Isagenix. You can't buy it off a shelf somewhere. John Anderson and the Coovers, they wanted this to be a belly-to-belly business of helping others and a company that always strives to keep up with the latest research. Third-party testing is so important, and putting money back into research to make sure that this is what they say it is and the best of the best is just the integrity of the company is amazing. Now, because I said you won't see ads for this, that doesn't mean a lot of professional athletes don't use it, because they do. It's just the company never pays them a dime. So a couple studies have been done. Again, these are independent studies. These are the real deal. They have been published in several medical journals. This first one compared the Heart Healthy diet, which my husband was on, to Isagenix, 30-day weight loss fat burning system, which is one way that some people start. A lot of people tend to start that way. But what they found was 56% more weight was lost with Isagenix, 47% more fat was lost, twice as much visceral fat, that's the fat around your organs that is just virtually impossible to get rid of, and 35% greater reduction in oxidative stress. And I don't know if you know what oxidative stress does to your body, but it's not good. But they didn't stop there. This was another study, recognizing the fact that so many people go on a diet and then they gain it back. Well, this is different. In this group, the entire group used Isagenix for the beginning of the trial, and then they took half the group and they moved them to a maintenance program with Whole Foods, with a dietitian. The other group moved to an Isagenix maintenance plan of their choice. And what they found here was that the Isagenix group had 4 times more fat loss and increased muscle mass, 2 times the metabolism, and 3 times the number of toxins released. So again, you can Google these if you want to learn more about it. I know not everyone's into science, but I find it pretty fascinating and really sets us apart from the rest. So we're going to end with a couple more stories of people on our team. This is Stephanie, and Stephanie has had tremendous results. She was like so many people. She's tried so many diets out there only to fail. And she went into this with a really big why. Her dad was sick and he did end up passing. But she had a new why to get healthy, to be able to take care of those around her, and to ultimately not follow in his path. And she did it. She plugged in, she reached out for help when she needed it, and she was able to maintain her goals. This is Mark. Mark is one of our young START group members, and he realized he was feeling older than he should. Today, he's carrying around 40 less pounds of fat, and he's gaining muscle and just inspiring a lot of people. This is Elena, and Elena actually did have a lot of success using Whole Foods to reach some serious goals, but she found that she reached a hump. You know, she couldn't get past. So she tried Isagenix, and she lost that additional 15 pounds and 39 inches, and she's using a lot of these products to fuel her training as she does a lot of races and triathlons and stuff like that. So I'm not sure where you are, but if you are ready to take charge of your health, then we are here to help you. Our products and our support team, we can help you reach your goals no matter what they are. There are so many different ways to start depending on what those goals are. Also depending on how fast you want to get there and how determined you are to get there. So your first step is just to reach out to whomever invited you to this to see what might be best for your goals, your lifestyle, and your current food budget. So wherever you are, please know that we're all here for you. There's a team that cares about your health and your wellness. And whoever invited you to this webinar, they care about you too. So if any part of this resonated with you, you have a couple options. You can reach out to me or whomever invited you and get started. If you still have questions, you can reach out and any of us will be happy to get your questions answered. And I'm gonna stop the screen share right now. If you want to learn more, you can ask to be plugged into our Facebook group where you can kind of watch from the sidelines and see if this is for you. Please know that there is free shipping offer to new members with a qualifying pack going on through the end of this month. So you might want to jump on that if you're ready to get started. So thanks so much for tuning in, and you all have a great night.